Hello all, once again welcome to Aifer Education. In this video, we'll be discussing another important topic from our UGC NET paper 1 syllabus, that is logical reasoning. We all know we have 10 topics that comes under the paper 1 syllabus, which include teaching aptitude, research aptitude, communication, reading comprehension, logical reasoning, mathematical reasoning, data interpretation, ICT, higher education, people development and environment. Okay, these are the 10 topics we have. Out of these, the 3 topics which most of the students find a bit difficult are the reasoning topics, which include, we have the logical reasoning one, then we have the mathematical reasoning, and we have data interpretation. So these are the 3 major topics in paper 1, which is tough for most of the students. Okay, so since this is a competitive examination, it's very important we have an extra edge over others who are attending this particular exam. That's very crucial for you to qualify. Okay, I hope it's clear. So these are the 3 topics. If you can be an expert in these 3 topics, or out of the 15 questions, if you can answer at least 11 to 13 out of this question, that will definitely give you an extra edge towards qualifying JRF. So it's very important you give a special attention to these reasoning topics. Okay, so today in this video, I will be discussing about logical reasoning. So as a part in this video, I will mainly focus on the syllabus. What are the topics coming under syllabus? And in the upcoming videos, I will be discussing all the topics which comes under logical reasoning. So let's see. So yeah, we have the syllabus. Okay. Out of the 10 topics in paper 1, logical reasoning seems to be the most toughest topic for many students. The reason is that all other topics, whether it's an environment, whether it's a research, or whether it's a higher education or ICT, most of the students would have heard or learned it before, maybe in their school life or in their college life. But if you haven't prepared for any competitive examination so far in your life, and UGC NET is the first competitive examination you are seriously preparing and going to write, most of the topics in logical reasoning you may be hearing for the first time, like mood and figure, formal and informal fallacies, on. So that's the reason why students feel logical reasoning a very tough topic. But let me tell you something. Out of all the 10 topics, logical reasoning is comparatively easy if you can be thorough with the concept. If you are thorough with the concept, definitely this will give you an extra edge. Okay, out of the 10 topics, logical reasoning is one of my favorite topics. Having an expertise or being this both mathematical reasoning and logical reasoning as my favorite subject has definitely helped me to qualify NET in 8 different subjects and JRF in 2 subjects. So make sure you are studying well logical reasoning. You are listening to this session very carefully. So these are the topics coming under logical reasoning. So firstly, we have understanding the structure of arguments or the argument forms. What is an argument? What is the structure of an argument? What are the forms of an argument? So this is the first topic coming under logical reasoning. Okay, this is the first topic coming under logical reasoning. Then we have the structure of categorical proposition. So here we have what is a proposition is all about, what is a categorical proposition is all about, and what is the structure of a categorical proposition. So this is another thing you have to study as a part of logical reasoning. As of now, I'm not detailing all these topics in detail. Okay, I will not be explaining these topics because after just a brief introduction to the syllabus, I will try to cover all the topics one by one. So we have structure of categorical proposition and we have classical square of opposition. These 2 topics are related. Okay, here we have to study a lot of things like prepositions. So prepositions are just a statement or an argument. Okay, I'm writing all pens are plastic is a proposition, or pens are plastic is a proposition. So there is a concept of proposition, and from proposition we have the concept of categorical proposition. From the concept of categorical proposition we have the square of a position. We'll be discussing that. Then we have another concept known as mood and figure. Okay, what is mood and figure? So basically, I hope you may be knowing that when it comes to logical reasoning, one of the most common topic, okay, especially if you had prepared for some other competitive examination, you would have heard is the concept of syllogism. Yeah, syllogism is a simple concept, like you would have seen the questions like all cats are rats, some cats are rats, which among the following is the correct conclusion from this that. Okay, the about two premises, that is syllogism. So there are a lot of methods for solving syllogism questions. Okay, there are a lot of methods. So basically in our syllabus they have explicitly mentioned two methods of solving syllogism, and the first one is mood and figure. Mood and figure is a method for solving syllogism. Okay, mood and figure. Then we have another method of solving syllogism, that is Venn diagram. Okay, so we have two methods of solving syllogism, mood and figure and Venn diagram. Both has been given in our syllabus. So here it is mood and figure. Yeah, we will definitely discuss what is mood and figure and what is Venn diagram in the upcoming videos. So we have the fifth one as formal and informal fallacies. Formal and informal fallacies. Fallacies is all about the errors of reasoning. Okay, so we have to study about what are different errors of reasoning. We have to study about the formal fallacies. We have to study about the informal fallacies. There are hundreds of fallacies, but we'll try to study 50 plus normal or common fallacies that are usually asked in the exams. So this is the first part of the syllabus. Then coming to the second part, we have uses of language. Okay, what are the different uses of language? Under that we have the concept of connotations and denotations of terms. So here they will be asking about what is connotation or what is denotation, and similarly the concept of what is the concept of intension or what is the concept of extension. They may be asking both of that. Then we have the concept of reasoning, which include distinguishing between deductive and inductive reasoning. Okay, we have to distinguish between deductive and inductive reasoning. It also comes under what we can say logical reasoning. Then we have the concept of analogies. Okay, we have the concept of analogies. Analogies is all about, we can say, similarities. Okay, analogies is all about similarities. Then we have Venn diagram, which I have already discussed about. There are two major methods of solving syllogism question. One is Venn diagram and the other one is mood and figure. So this is the second part. Remember, the topic is not over. We have one more topic that comes under the syllabus. Okay, one more topic that comes under the syllabus, that's Indian logic. Okay, or the ways of acquiring knowledge or the means of knowledge. So basically it's all about pramanas or Indian logic. So you'd have heard pramanas if you have some idea with Sanskrit or philosophy. So pramanas or Indian logic means the ways of acquiring knowledge. Ways of acquiring knowledge means if you're preparing for, basically let's take our UGC NET exam. What are the different ways of acquiring knowledge? You have Google, you have YouTube, you have Aifer Education, we have different other online platforms or offline platform. They all are sources of acquiring knowledge, or they all help you to acquire knowledge for preparing UGC NET exam. Similarly, pramanas are the means of acquiring knowledge. As per Indian philosophy or as per the Vedic system or Vedic education, we have pramanas as a means of acquiring knowledge. So we have around 6 pramanas which are explicitly mentioned in the syllabus. Firstly, we have the pratyaksha pramana or perception. Then we have the anumana pramana or inference. Then we have the upamana pramana or comparison. Then we have shabda or verbal testimony. Then we have adapati or implication, and finally we have anubalabdhi or non-apprehension. So these are the major 6 what we can say pramanas. Okay, these are the major 6 pramanas. Okay, I hope it's clear. I will be discussing in detail when I will be going through pramanas or Indian logic. Okay, so I will be discussing in detail when I will be going through that. So this is it. Then moving to the last part, it's a continuation of this Indian logic. After the 6 pramanas, we have to study about Anumana in detail, which means we have 6 pramana: Pratyaksha, Anumana, Upamana, Adapati, Anubilabdi, and Shabda. Out of this, we have to study in detail about the Anumana Pramana. We have to study in detail about the Anumana Pramana. Then we have to study about Vyapti, okay, the relationship between the Vyabha and Vyapaga, or we'll be studying that. And finally, we have to study the fallacies of Indian logic also. In the beginning of the syllabus, we have discussed about the concept of formal and informal fallacies. Those formal and informal fallacies comes under the Western logic, and when it comes to Indian logic, when it comes to Indian philosophy, we call the fallacies as Hetvabhashas. Okay, we call the fallacies as Hetvabhashas. We have to study Hetvabhashas also as a part of this. So these are the topics which are coming under syllabus. Okay, so I hope it's clear. So before going to the what we can say, the questions, or before going to the topics, I will not be taking the classes or the sessions in the exact order, but we'll try to take the classes or the sessions in a order that is in accordance with the topics from which you have a lot of questions. Okay, for example, when we compare the last few exams, okay, out of these whole topics, when we compare the last 2 exams, yeah, most of the questions are being asked from, I will say, 3 areas. 3 areas. The first one, in most of the cases, more than 80%. In certain cases, even 100% of the questions are being asked from 3 areas. And the first area, we have areas related to square of a position. Areas related to square of a position. Okay, square of a position. This include, I will say, a concept of proposition, concept of categorical proposition, concept of universal, particular, affirmative, negative, concept of distributive and undistributive aspect. Then we have the concept of square of opposition. Then we have the concept of contrary, subcontrary, subaltern, contradictory. Okay, then we have the concept of truthfulness, falsity, and the different methods that comes under. Okay, square of opposition we'll be discussing one by one. Okay, then we have I will say fallacies. Fallacies means the Western fallacies or the formal or informal fallacies, because this is a major area from which you can see a lot of questions. And the third one, we have Indian logic. Okay, third one, we have Indian logic. So these are the 3 areas from which we can find most of the questions in UGC NET exam from logical listening. So we'll be taking classes in this order. Okay, we'll try to discuss the topics also in this particular order. So firstly, we'll be discussing square of a position, different concept related to square of a position, and after that we'll be moving to the fallacies. Then we'll be moving to the Indian logic, and also we'll be taking some other topic also, like the concept of connotation and denotation, then mood and figure, Venn diagram. There are some other topics which directly I haven't mentioned in the board. Okay, so I hope it's clear. Okay, the topics clear, or just the syllabus is clear. I have just discussed the syllabus, and we'll be discussing topics in the upcoming videos in detail. So as to make sure you get all those videos regarding this topic, make sure to subscribe to Aifer Education YouTube channel. And for more details about Aifer courses and other things, you can visit our website www.aifer.in. Thank you. See you again in the next video.